Guys, the Super Review Show here for another movie review. This is my review of Batman the movie from not 1966, but 1989. Here is my DVD copy. It broke a little bit, unfortunately. But this movie is an incredible film. This Batman from 1989 that we got with Michael Keaton, I think is brilliant. Yes, this is I'm flailing around my Blu-ray copy of it. I don't care, whatever. I love this movie. This movie is one of my first introductions to Batman. I mean, Michael Keaton, I think, is one of the quintessential Batmans, truthfully. I mean, more than Val Kilmer, more than George Clooney. I think he was my favorite Bruce Wayne out of all of the Batman iterations we've got over the years. But I love this movie so much, truthfully. It is an origin story. It is somewhat of an origin story, if you will, but it takes place in 1989. It's about, Batman coming into his own, if you will. It stars Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, who did a great job as the Joker, and Kim Basinger as the love interest of the film, Vicky Vale. I love this movie. There's one scene in this movie that always stands out to me, and my grandfather brings up from time to time whenever we're talking about Batman, he just brings it up. He's like, do you remember that moment in Batman 1989 where they're sitting at this long table, and Kim Basinger's Vicky Vale is like, could you pass the salt? And Bruce Wayne gets up from the other, Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne gets up from the other half of the table, walks all the way to the other side of the table, gives it the salt because they're on like a date, and they have like this giant, like ridiculously long table. It's actually a really funny moment in what is truthfully somewhat of a dark movie in a sense, but it fit the Batman of the time. If I'm not mistaken, it was nominated for an Oscar, or may have won an Oscar, I forget, for Best Art Direction, and well deserved. I don't remember if it won off the top of my head, but for the film nerds out there, like, well, I guess it did or no, it didn't. Whatever, I understand. But I love this movie. It is a great iteration of Batman. The Batmobile is one of the most iconic. This Batmobile is so iconic to me. I mean, everything from like the length of the car to the way the actual like the design of it, the way that everything about the car, I flipped out when I was younger. I was like, I love the Batmobile so much. I was a big fan of this movie. I still am. But this Batman movie is incredible. It is Tim Burton's one of his not earliest films, but one of his films he made after Michael Keaton was in Beetlejuice. Hey, they said, hey, you want to be Batman? Sure, why not? And then, sure enough, they made him Batman, and the rest they say is history. I have to say, one of the things I did love quite a bit about Batman and Batman Returns was the art direction and the actual setting of Gotham. Gotham looks so gritty. And so it was a very 80s gritty, but it looked so dark, so menacing. What a complete opposite from Superman the movie or those Superman films in the 70s and 80s. I mean, it was so dark. There was so much darkness to it. There was there's certain sets and like the way that they shot, like the on location stuff was crazy. I mean, I love this Batman movie a lot, but one of the things I love about it is the tone of it. And yes, it's in the 80s, like the late 80s, and 89. But I love this Batman, like the way that the Gotham is set up and how there's criminals left and right. They're running for a newspaper, like a Vicky Vale works for the newspaper company. And I every little thing about this movie I love. And of course, how could I not forget Jack Nicholson as the Joker? Jack Nicholson was an incredible Joker. I mean, yes, we've had Heath Ledger, who did a fantastic job in the Dark Knight trilogy. Yes, we've had Jared Leto and Joaquin Phoenix play Joker in a different iteration so well. One of the troubles I've seen, one of the challenges I think that the filmmakers have brought up over the years is, how do we make Joker new? How does the actor take on Joker differently, but stay relevant to how we do? And I think so far, the previous 2 or 3 actors who have played Joker, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, what's his face? Joaquin Phoenix. I think these iterations of Joker have still been the Joker, but they're not like the typical. They're not the same type of character, if you will. I mean, Jack Nicholson's Joker is different from Heath Ledger's Joker, which is different from Jared Leto's Joker, which is different from Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. Like there's so much about this Batman movie, and the yin to yang stuff about like if you really want to see a great interpretation of Batman's like yin to Joker's yang, this is a great movie to get into if you haven't seen it. It's from like I said, it's 1989. But the fact that like this really like shows like Joker's parents, Joker killing Bruce Wayne's parents, and how he like they made the connection and whatnot, and how this stuff, how like there's some moments of like 80s cheese where like Joker falls into the vat of chemicals and whatnot, but. I mean, but overall, I love Danny Elfman's score too. That Batman score that we got was so good in so many ways. It was I still think of it more than the Hans Zimmer score. Truthfully, I love it that much. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Hans Zimmer score is still Hans Zimmer's score, but this one is just that good. With Danny Elfman. So I got to tell you the truth. This movie is a great movie. If you have not seen this Batman movie, get on it. And the whole thing about like I said, if you want to see a really good interpretation of how Joker and Batman are, in both in the comic books and on film, this is a great one to see how the yin and the yang play out between the two of them. It's a really fascinating. Truthfully, it's a really fascinating way to look at how the two of them are the same but different. It's a really there's more stuff about that line, you can dive into that online and whatnot. It's really cool. But this is a great movie, great iteration. Overall, I would give this Batman movie a 9 out of 10. I love this movie to death. I think it's a great Batman movie. I think everything from the Batmobile to the art direction to the way the film was made. Tim Burton's directing was fantastic as well. I think that he did a killer job with this film, truthfully. So a 9 out of 10 for me on the Super Review Show here. But yeah, I gotta say, so what do you think? Are you a Batman fan? Have you seen this Batman movie? Have you not seen it? Have I spoiled anything for you? Have what I said caused you to have what I said caused you to go see it? Jump down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts on this video. And share this video as well. Hit the bell, subscribe, whatever you gotta do. But for all of your Batman movie reviews and the Batman movie review for the new Batman coming up later this week, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man is off the rock. We'll see you guys later.